and thank you for joining us. In this episode of Better Horses, we plan to bring you the very best in clinicians and trainers from around the country.
Being equestrians ourselves, we know that it can be challenging to stay motivated on our horses. And so that's why we want to continue to bring new education for all of you horse lovers.
Hello everyone, I'm Ed Adams.
And I'm Susie Arbo.
And welcome to Better Horses.
Speed, accuracy, and horsemanship. Those who live by the code of the Old West, it all comes down to this. Welcome to Cowboy Mounted Shooting Competition. Here we get to talk to one competitor, Dee Chapman, who has dominated the sport. Her record-breaking ride in 2022 cemented her career as the best in the business in mounted shooting.
Known for his drive and determination and hard work, Joshua Rushing from Shoe-n-R Horsemanship in Missouri has an impressive competitive record. This week, Josh breaks down the basics of working with his horse, Trio.
And next, from the Kansas State University College of Veterinary Medicine, Dr. Dylan Lutter. Now, he's an expert in equine performance medicine, and he's going to focus his team on a horse named Beau and give their assessment and treatment and how they develop a curable plan.
So before you saddle up, stay with us as we bring you the only horse show on your local broadcast television station.
Also airing on RFD TV and the Cowboy channel.
We'll be right back.
It's time for the most colorful horse show of the year. The Color Breed Congress returns to Tulsa, Oklahoma, beginning October 31st through November 8th. With over 600 classes, all levels, all disciplines, and all breeds are welcome, including the Go for the Gold Futurity. Over $200,000 in cash and prizes to be won. The Color Breed Congress, a family-friendly environment with a good taste of healthy competition. Don't miss the Color Breed Congress in Tulsa, October 31st through November 8th. For more details, visit Color Breed Congress.
I'm Dee Chapman. I'm here at the Missouri State Fair in Sedalia, Missouri, and I'm from Palmer Lake, Colorado. We are here doing cowboy mounted shooting. The best way to get started in cowboy mounted shooting would be to work with a trainer who has been there, done that, and has brought new horses and new people into the sport. You want to set your horse up for success. I believe it was Tom Dorrance who used to say, the horse knows what happens before what happens. In mounted shooting, that becomes relevant because you can shoot off any horse once. And the next time, when you go to pull the hammer back, the horse has had that happen. So if it was a disfavorable experience, you're in trouble. And so it's good to get in an environment where there are lots of horses that don't care that the shooting is going on because they're herd animals and they feed off of each other. It's also really important to make sure you maintain a leadership position. So if you're firing a gun for the first time off a horse, your mind can get busy and you can start thinking about the gun and it brings some anxiety through your horse. And so that's why it's important to work with someone who's done it before and it's just another day at the office. The best advice for getting a horse acclimated with the shooting is teaching them to do their job despite the fact that there's a distraction going on. It's no different than a roper out there. I don't see ropers at a roping saying, whoa, 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 I'm going to swing my rope. Am I going to scare your horse? Is your horse going to be okay? So when you go to a mounted shooting competition or an event where the shooting is already happening and there's a bunch of horses that don't care, your horse takes to it a lot easier. A lot of people want to know, will my horse make it with mounted shooting? And the answer is it's not always obvious. Sometimes a horse that is so reactive and worried about the neighbor's truck coming down the road doesn't care about the gunfire. And sometimes the old bomb-proof horse gets very scared. The important thing is to work with someone and watch their rhythm. There are lots of really good trainers who will watch your horse's reaction in the group and let the horse know that they're just going on and doing the job despite the gunfire happening on their back or in their vicinity. If you're interested in getting into cowboy mounted shooting, I recommend going to the website Cowboy Mounted Shooting, which is cmsaevents.com. And on the page, you can read about the sport, you can see the rules, the guidelines, and there are trainers listed, and you can find a trainer in your area, in your region, find out who's putting on clinics, find out how to get started, and there are also contacts for local clubs, which is another great resource to find people in your area. The clubs often will have new shooter clinics, and the people in this sport are so welcoming and want to help you get started. So reach out to one of your local clubs. Someone will point you in the right direction, and we welcome you into the Cowboy Mounted Shooting family.
You're watching Better Horses, raising your horse experience.
The Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University announces a new service for horses. Hi, I'm Dr. Dylan Lutter, a specialist in equine performance medicine. Our new service focuses on lameness diagnosis, advanced imaging, physical therapy, and regenerative medicine for horses with injuries preventing them from performing at their best. We can treat a variety of conditions and design a customized rehabilitation plan to meet the needs of each client and their horse. The Veterinary Health Center, to discover, to teach, to heal.
Hey, it's Matt at Heritage Tractor. Around here, we don't just sell tractors. We stand behind what we run. And we believe the difference between John Deere and the rest is more than just paint deep. We put the John Deere 1025R head-to-head against the competition. Spoiler alert, it wasn't even close. From smarter hydraulics to easier maintenance and a smoother ride, the 1025R was built for real work, not just showroom specs. Want proof? See the side-by-side results at heritagetractor.com. Or better yet, stop in and feel the difference for yourself.
In 1956, the Pinto Horse Association of America was formed to welcome all types of equines and maintain their show records and pedigrees. PTHA currently has over 88,000 members with 157,000 registered Pintos. There are currently 3 separate registries: the Color Registry, the Solid Registry, and the Long Ear Registry. We welcome all levels of competition within a family-friendly environment. Become a member, register, and add value to your horse. For more information, check out the website pintoworld.com.
Hey guys, I'm Joshua Rushing. Welcome to Better Horses. We're here at Shoe-n-R Ranch today. This is our home, and we want to welcome you guys in. We're going to start our new video series today called Better Basics. We want to go from the ground up all the way through the riding process with just the simple, basic maneuvers that every horse owner and every horse should know. So again, Better Basics, guys. We're going to work all the way from the ground up all the way through the riding process. So today we're going to be working on the ground a little bit. I want to go through some stuff that I feel like every horse or horse owner should know or have the ability to do with their horse. This is Trio, also known as Rue Caught My Chick is her registered name. This is one of our personal horses, actually belongs to my daughter. She is coming into her 6-year-old year. We'll be showing her at American Ranch Horse this year as a bridle horse. She's got to go, she's a big girl now, right? So, but it doesn't ever hurt to go back through and check some stuff out on the ground. Maybe we're looking at a new horse. Maybe you're a trainer, you've got a new horse in the barn or something like that, and you just want to go through a checklist. For me, I want to know that I could handle, walk, trot, lope a horse in hand before I like to get on. It doesn't matter if they're brand new or supposed to be a 12-year-old broke horse that is in for a tune-up. These are some things that I'm going to go check out, make sure they have before I put myself at risk getting on. Again, I'm not worried about wearing her out to prep her to ride as much as I am just making sure that I establish a little bit of leadership and that I have her respect and she has mine. So I need to create a little distance between me and her. I'd like to go ahead and just walk, trot, lope her around in hand. And so I'm going to go ahead and snug this halter up by hand and just give it a little rock back and forth. I'm going to start as little as possible and just see if I can move her back. Once I create a little space, I'm going to make sure I can back her up off that halter. This is a lot of times we do this with our colts. We start backing them up, and I want to make sure I can communicate her to back up. Now, What I don't want to do, guys, is get myself in a position where I start walking around her to initiate some pressure or to try to drive her off in a circle, right? It's important, very important, that I never allow her to talk me into moving around or talk her or let her back me up, right? So I want to always go forward. Like if I was to walk around here to her hip to try to create some element of pressure, she's able to kind of block me. She's dropping a shoulder in on me, and that could create or invite her to be a little bit more disrespectful. This is a nice mare. There's nothing in this mare that wants to be that way, but there's a lot of horses that could possibly take advantage. So I want to make sure that I'm not allowing her to move me. I want to establish the fact that I'm going to move her. So again, I want to create some space. I'll do that. I'll shake my rope out and I'll get bigger, 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 as big as necessary to get her to move. I'm going to ask her to do that again. I'm going to forgive her. I don't want to go right back to what it took to get her to back up. A lot of us, if it takes 110%, we want to go right back to that again. Super important for me to back off and start at 0 again, right? And then get bigger and bigger at there. Didn't take near as much to get her to back up. Back her up again, good. Now that we have a little space, I can go ahead and gauge. I'm gonna focus on this shoulder. I'm gonna start swinging my rope. What I kind of like to relate this to pinning an ear. Good. And that's all it took to yield that shoulder out of my way. And now I have her whole rib cage, her hip, that I can engage as necessary to create some movement. Okay? It's important for me to have the ability to decide where her feet are gonna go and how fast they go. I don't want her to go out on the end of this rope and just run around and wear herself out. That's not me controlling, that's not me leading, that's just me standing in the middle. A lot of people will go lunge a horse, they stand right here real still, they let the horse go out on the end of the rope, run around, be silly. And I'm not saying there's a place or time for that, but I'm gonna ride this horse, maybe I know this horse, maybe I don't. It's important for me to engage her to a certain degree and know that she's going to be respectful and honor exactly where and how fast I've asked her to be or get there. 6 years old, she's a nice broke mare, but still, same thing. I want to see, maybe I'm evaluating this mare for the first time, or I've just showed up, or maybe I've got a client looking to purchase her. I want to see what she's capable of. I don't want to back up. I want to see if she can transition the weight to her hocks, pick her front end up. She crosses over really nice. This mare's very attentive. Offer her new way. Good. I'm going to go ahead and ask for a lope. Good. Now notice, I'm not going to continue to swinging my rope at her. I think a lot of us are in a bad habit sometimes of just continuing to swing and swing and swing until we doll a horse up. She breaks gait, ask again. And then relax, right? So again, I've told her where to be. I've told her how fast I want her to be. I expect for her to kind of take over and honor that to a certain extent. Good, she's very light in my hand. She's not dragging me around. Ooh. Offer her a new way. Rope her off again. Again, I'm gonna feed her a little bit of rope to give her some room. This is about, I'm going to say about a 12, 13-foot rope. This we use on a daily basis a lot of times. It's just enough rope to kind of get some basic groundwork done, but not so long that I feel like I'm getting tangled up in it all the time. Again, she's very soft on this side. I've got an open hand. She's not laying on me. This is not something we do every day. It's been quite a long time since this mare's actually been done any sort of groundwork. We usually just saddle her up and go. But again, it never hurts to go back, just check the basics of groundwork and make sure it's all good. So, hey guys, thanks again for joining us on Better Horses Network. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next time. We're going to go through some yielding exercises. We're going to make sure that we could yield our hips, our shoulders. We're going to continue our groundwork session with Trio. And again, better basics from the ground up. We're going to just go through some fundamentals that every one of us should know. So look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you so much.
Hey Wranglers, we got a lot more better horses coming your way right after this word.
It's time for the most colorful horse show of the year. The Color Breed Congress returns to Tulsa, Oklahoma, beginning October 31st through November 8th. With over 600 classes, all levels, all disciplines, and all breeds are welcome, including the Go for the Gold Futurity. Over $200,000 in cash and prizes to be won. The Color Breed Congress, a family-friendly environment with a good taste of healthy competition. Don't miss the Color Breed Congress in Tulsa, October 31st to November 8th. For more details, visit Color Breed Congress.
At Kansas State University Veterinary Health Center, we provide both specialty and primary health care services for your livestock. Hi, I am Sean Hoosier, an on-farm food animal veterinarian at K-State. Whether your farm is large or small, we have the resources and personnel to respond and care for individual animals, herd health, or emergencies. Our team of experts can tailor herd health plans for your farm and find solutions to any existing challenges. The Veterinary Health Center, to discover, to teach, to heal.
It's time to go with United Mosquito and Fly Control's premier fly system for fly control in your barn, providing relief for horses from the stress of fighting flies, and also makes the barn more pleasant for everyone in the barn. Easy, effective, and safe. With United Mosquito and Fly Control, we provide a full service. You as the barn owner don't have to do anything. We go everywhere and take care of everything with our friendly fast service. Call today at 913-558-3814 or email Paul at unitedmosquito.com.
I'm Dr. Dylan Lutter, clinical assistant professor here at the Veterinary Health Center and the lead clinician in equine performance medicine.
My name is Cindy Togstead. I'm from Wilbur, Nebraska, and I brought my horse Beau here. He's a quarter horse. He's 9 years old, and I brought him here today because he's having a treatment done on his fetlock area.
So we ultrasounded the area and discovered it was a tear in his deep flexor tendon and in his check ligament. It happened to be one of the worst tears that I've ever seen in that particular structure. And so I turned right away to Cindy and told her that it was not good news and that it was going to be a long road ahead of Beau to try to even get him back to where he was comfortable walking. First and foremost, we started off with stem cell therapy. That is a program that I've been utilizing here and injected Beau's injuries with stem cells that were actually grown from another horse and started him on his rehab program. And here on this anatomy model of a horse's front leg, we can see where Beau's injury occurred, starting at the top, both in the check ligament and the deep digital flexor tendon, and extending all the way down through the cannon bone, through the fetlock region, and ending in the middle of his pastern region. So most of Beau's front leg tendon was severely injured. And if we flip it around to actually look at the tendons on the inside of the leg, you can see it's this large tendon right here, the deep digital flexor tendon that's running down the entire extent. And somewhere in the middle of his pastern here is where Beau's injury stopped. If we move here to look at this ultrasound image on the screen, you can see the injured tendon as I'm circling with the arrow and the large dark spot in the center of it that we're referring to, which it's essentially remained static for the last several months. And we're hoping today with the bone marrow procedure that we can inject this dark area to help stimulate some healing and promote it to fill in. As we move to the image on the right side of the screen, you can see an ultrasound-guided insertion of the needle into that dark injured area. And we injected actually in several areas. Here we have another area shown that down in his pastern where there's a severe injury, where we inserted that needle to inject the bone marrow. Now the final video that I'm pulling up, you can see multiple bright areas that show up on the ultrasound screen. And those bright areas are actually the bone marrow concentrate that we harvested and injected into the injured tendon. So we know our procedure today was successful. And from here, Beau just has to do the hard work and finish his rehab steps to hopefully complete the healing process.
He is just gotten better and better. But now we have to pray and hope that the procedure that is done today will help with getting the tissue to grow in that black area.
Beau came back today, roughly 60 days after the bone marrow procedure, where we discharged him from the hospital and sent him back to have about 30 days of underwater treadmill and about 30 days of at-home therapy, just in hopes that that bone marrow concentrate injection would stimulate healing of the tendon and further improve Beau's lameness and hope that we would heal that tendon. On the recheck today, he really looked about the same as he did on the previous visit. He did show some mild lameness in the circles, but looked really pretty good on the straight line. And we did a recheck ultrasound where we evaluated the healing of the tendon, and largely that tendon had not changed a whole lot. So it looks like even though he was moving pretty well, that dark spot we were trying to get to fill in is going to be there for the persistent future. We kind of had a discussion with Cindy on what his plan was going forward, how we're going to control his exercise, and what his other rehab steps will be. Moving forward, we just said that Beau no longer needs to be on any sort of stall confinement or any sort of round pen confinement. And so we really released him from that kind of protocol, and he could have full turnout in his dry lot over the winter. And Cindy's plan is to exercise him daily, hand walking, hand trotting as the weather will permit. In the spring, once the weather clears, we're going to do one final recheck here at the VHC, just to establish a baseline of where he's at, lameness and healing wise, and then Beau is going to get turned out into pasture and be a horse again for the first time in almost 2 years.
Hey cowboys and cowgirls, don't go anywhere. We have more better horses coming your way.
Hey, it's Matt at Heritage Tractor. Around here, we don't just sell tractors. We stand behind what we run. And we believe the difference between John Deere and the rest is more than just paint deep. We put the John Deere 1025R head-to-head against the competition. Spoiler alert, it wasn't even close. From smarter hydraulics to easier maintenance and a smoother ride, the 1025R was built for real work, not just showroom specs. Want proof? See the side-by-side results at heritagetractor.com. Or better yet, stop in and feel the difference for yourself.
My name is Cindy Togstead. I'm from Wilbur, Nebraska, and I brought my horse Beau here. He's a quarter horse. He's 9 years old, and I brought him here today because he's having a treatment done on his fetlock area.
Beau's case was a great learning opportunity for me. We got to pair a career-ending injury and almost life-threatening injury and really incorporate all of our rehabilitation tools from biological therapies to rehab as well as corrective trimming and shoeing and get to put all of those modalities together, and it's a great learning opportunity.
Even though Beau isn't able to get back to 100% and that tendon still has a bit of a defect in it, I really think it's important to consider how much of a success story Beau is. Without all of these therapies that we utilize to treat Beau, many people would have put him down because he would have been chronically in pain and unable to even be turned out. Having the ability to monitor his healing, to apply that controlled exercise through the water treadmill, through the at-home exercises, through the use of the biologic therapies, we've achieved amounts of healing that I never would have thought possible with Beau. Really quite remarkable to me that he responded as well as he did. I think he's going to be able to go on and have full turnout. Since we did the bone marrow aspirate injection, I was getting almost daily updates with how Beau was doing at the treadmill facility and at home. And he would have good days and bad days. There would be some days when they would be lunging him in the arena and he would look nearly sound to me in the videos. So I think the fact that today we saw a little bit of lameness is really a realistic picture of what Beau is, rather than being super optimistic or pessimistic. And just really a testament to Cindy's dedication to Beau, and a testament to what we can do even with these most severe injuries that we're dealing with.
He's had good progression, a lot better than what I was thinking was going to happen today. Today, he did an ultrasound on his right leg where he had put in the stem cells. We are so excited because now he does have some growth of tissue in there, and that is a big deal. I mean, we are so hopeful and keeping so positive that he'll just keep progressing. We never know what's going to happen, and Dr. Lutter didn't even know if he'd be able to trot again, so we have come we have come a long way. Sorry, Beau, I know it's your good stuff. I know it's good stuff, just hold on. So anyway, so I just want him to be able, if I can show him, to lead the best life he can have at my place. I mean, I love him dearly, and he's such a good-minded, good horse. You're a good boy, aren't you? I love you, buddy.
Hey, thank you for watching Better Horses. You know, if you've missed any of our episodes, I invite you to check out betterhorses.com, where you can see all our shows.
Also follow us on Facebook for upcoming events. Check out our podcasts.
And don't forget our newspapers coming out 4 times a year.
You're gonna love this.